Holy shit, we've got so many f***ing bags. Hey guys, welcome to New Bag Drops, episode 3. In this video, I'm gonna show you all the most important bag drops from the month of May. I'm gonna show you what new gear got sent to us in the office, and then you can vote on which one you wanna see reviewed. And as always at the end, I'm gonna give you some of that behind the scenes, Nomads Nation, juicy goodness. We're gonna be doing an AMA. And as a reminder, some of the slots in this video are sponsored, but we only partner with brands that we like. The most important thing for us is bringing you the best gear in the world. So, let's jump into it. First up, really excited, our first bag, or suitcase, from Ogio, an OG brand. This is the Renegade Vault Carry-On, which is so new, it's actually not even launched yet. It's actually still on pre-order. And the main story for this suitcase is going to be the carbon fiber high impact shell. It's got sort of that Transformer vibe to it, but it looks like it can definitely take a beating. We got silent Hinomoto wheels. And guys, the more suitcases I use, the more Hinomoto is just a make or a break for me. It ain't got Hinomoto, then I don't want it. But it does, so let's talk. We got a TSA lock that gets us into the main compartment. Bit of organization here, air tag slots, pretty nifty compression feature on this side. And we've got some decent expansion for those trips that you wanna bring some souvenirs back. Plus a very heavy duty handle with a pretty gnarly, kind of like rubbery top to the handle. It's got a really nice grip to it. But for me, the tail of this suitcase really comes down to just how hardcore it is, especially in these corner protectors. I mean, look at these bad boys. I have not thrown this suitcase down a flight of stairs yet, but I'm half tempted to. Oh, and also should be noted, if you're digging new drops and you want first look at all the new bags that are coming out, you gotta sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter, because the newsletter mentioned all this stuff, but like weeks ago. So to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the world of bags and suitcases, you gotta look for this globe emoji in the description, and then you can stay on top of all the limited edition drops, new releases, and the industry trends. The suitcase costs around 350 USD, and if you wanna learn more about it or make a purchase, you can get the best price and access to our discount codes, which we sometimes have for certain brands. All that can be found in the description below. And I'm also excited to announce that we've got a couple more Ogio bags that have been sent to us, so we should be having some Ogio reviews live on the channel very soon. Next up, we got 2 backpacks from a brand called Corsurf. And the bag is called the Island Hopper, or should I say the Hoppers, because it comes in a 28 or a 34 liter. And I think it's really cool that a new brand said, F it, we're not rocking black, we only have enough money for one color, and we're going with tan, or as they call it, desert sand. Now, what should be noted though is that this is not X-Pack. It certainly looks like X-Pack. It's got the X grid and a ripstop grid actually over top of that, but this is Tricore, some sort of Dimension Polyant competitor. We're seeing a lot of these out there now, guys, between Challenge Sailcloth and unbranded options as well. So I can't speak to the longevity of this fabric, but it looks fantastic. We've also got YKK PU coated zippers, built-in hip belts. This is a rarity, and it's not gonna be for everyone, but if you really love hip belts, then the built-in ones always work better. So like, if you're gonna get a travel bag and you're always gonna use the hip belts, just don't use a bag where the hip belts are removable, because they're never gonna be as secure and as just hip belty as ones that are sewn into the bag. Hidden back panel pocket at the top is pretty nifty. Side laptop access, chunky number 10 YKKs to get into a very well designed main compartment that is unfortunately a little dark for my taste. I would have preferred a lighter color lining, but the good thing about black linings is that although they get dirty, they never look dirty. So kind of a pro and a con there. Actually, it feels pretty light. How heavy is this 34 liter version? Yeah, dude, not too bad. 2.6 pounds, 34 liters with a hip belt, not too shabby. These bags run around 180 to 200 USD. And if you want to learn more, be sure to check the links in the description below. Next up, we got the YETI Daytrip Insulated Tote. It's only the second YETI bag we've ever had in the studio. And this thing is pretty gnarly, dude. And the whole story is just this main compartment where it's insulated, right? I mean, this is your hiking or going to the beach tote for the day. It keeps the sandwiches nice and cool. My friends, when I used to live out in Colorado, we used to do cheese and salami when we used to hike. I hated hiking, but I knew that once I got to the top, I'd have some delicious brie and some like Italian prosciutto or something. That's what kept me going, and that's what YETI is offering to you, is to keep your cheese and your salami nice and cold. External lash points, quick access pocket, here at the top. Tote handles are gnarly, allowing you to go into shoulder mode very easily. And I love the magnetic flap. It's very strong, very satisfying to use. This thing is huge, but it's meant to feed you and the whole family. Just launched a few weeks ago. To learn more, check the description below. Guys, I'm really excited about this one. I bought The Osprey Transporter 26+6. I was in the States. I saw that One Bag Travels and Vision Well and Danny Packs, they all did reviews of this bag, and I'm like, I gotta get me one. This quietly launched about a month ago, and it's basically the modern, updated competitor to the Osprey Daylight 26+6. Some big differences are the fact that this fabric is much more rubbery and modern and weatherproof, especially when compared to its brother, the Daylight, or sister. I'm not sure which one's which. We got the admin pocket on top, and it's deep. It runs all the way down. Osprey's signature AirScape harness system. This one's a little bit different too, where we have an independent tech compartment in the back, which is a controversial move because a lot of people like the Daylight 26+6 because there's no designated laptop area, which means the bag can pack more, especially if you're not traveling with a laptop. And then of course, as the name suggests, we do get some expansion as well. But remember, when we tested the actual capacity of the Osprey Daylight 26+6, it did not come out to 26 liters. It was closer to like 22 liters, I think. I'm so excited about reviewing this bag. It should be live in a few weeks' time, especially at the price point. It's only coming in at 175 USD. And if you want to learn more about it, be sure to check the links in the description. Next up, King Kong just launched the Shift backpack and the Shift duffel, only in wax canvas. And I have to admit, I really like it because I'm just a sucker for wax canvas. But I always like the idea of wax canvas, but I don't really wear wax canvas bags. But I love just the feel of it and the look of it and the character that it gets. The duffel hasn't really made much noise in the community, but the Shift backpack has definitely turned some heads. I think it's got a very smart look to it. It's very King Kong-y as to where you get a bit of tactical in the aesthetic, but not too much. It's not built for athletes. We're not to that level of like high rocks, athletic sort of like lifestyle. King Kong's offering a little bit more subtlety, and it's even emphasized further by the fact that you can remove their patch and decorate as you want. And look at, we got these teethy kind of old school brass zippers. It's a top loader, 2 water bottle pockets, and a big old front admin pocket. Not a lot of organization in here. Good spot for maybe your tablet, some other workout essentials. I do think that while I like the aesthetic of these buckles and how it allows you to secure things on the side of your bag, I just think they'll drive me absolutely batshit crazy personally. But for somebody who's looking for kind of like an old school gym bag that's got the right vibe, a little bit of classiness to it, I think King Kong did something very cool here. Now, I'll actually be reviewing this bag myself, should be live sometime in July. But if you wanna learn more about this bag in the meantime, it costs around 250 USD. And as always, we got links in the description below. Next up, we got this adorable little guy. It's the Evergoods Civic Access Sling 1 liter. The little brother to their original Civic Access Sling 2 liter. This just dropped. Like by the time that this video is live, I think that this went live maybe a day or two prior. It's got a little bit more cuter of a silhouette than its bigger brother, and it's much simpler in comparison. You can see we got the main compartment here. That's it. No front pocket, no back pocket, just this, and there's not a lot of organization even in here, which some people are going to rejoice over and other people are gonna absolutely fucking hate. For me, I think it's dope. I think it's a sling that knows what it is. It's very simple to use. We just shot the review literally like 2 hours before this. I gave it a very high score, especially for the fact that it can transition into a fanny and a sling sort of back and forth very well. And then it's just got all that Evergoods, malleable, functional, capacity, wizardry awesomeness. Although I will admit the dangle management system on the shoulder strap, not my favorite. This runs around 75 USD and the full review should be live soon. Could actually be already. If it is, you know where to find it, link below. Next up, we got a crap ton of lunch bags sent to us from Orbitkey. These just went live a few weeks ago. We've got the insulated lunch bag and the insulated lunch bag mini. I have to say, guys, Orbitkey has been really impressing me recently. I actually, fun side story, I just went to the States for a month. I got back a few days ago, and I took the Orbitkey DOP kit on my trip, and it has catapulted itself as my favorite DOP kit of all time. It actually dethroned the Bellroy DOP kit, which was my numero uno. And I find myself just kind of thinking this more and more with Orbitkey. Not that all their products are my favorite, but just that they're doing cool work. Like they don't even consider themselves a carry brand. They're just like a make cool that's also like really functional brand. That's their vibe. Insulated lunch bags are everything you would want in a lunch bag. Very insulated. I think the smaller one, not quite my cup of tea as much, but I think the bigger ones could do quite well. Got a nifty opening, very well insulated on the inside. And with this size, it can just easily fit into your backpack much better. We get asked all the time about like lunch bags and insulated bags. And I'm always like, dude, sorry, I wanna help, but it's not my expertise. So if we get enough requests, maybe we'll start looking into more insulated bags and lunch bags and do a full review of these. In the meantime, for the prices, we're looking at 45 and 60 USD. Next up, we got the Bellroy Carryology Essentials Sling. This review also just shot. And this bag also, very exciting. It's sort of like a Bellroy Adventure Sling and a Bellroy Chimera Sling. They got it on and had a kid, and that's what this is, and it's got some really interesting things to it. Never seen this Woojin buckle before. Sig, what's it called again? Magic something. The Magic Lock. Magic Lock, okay, that's what it is. It's the Woojin Magic Lock, and it's bulky and not my favorite, but if you like cool, kind of techie hardware, I think you'll dig it. The primary fabric, gorgeous. All the internals, stunning. It's a little stiff with the fabric that they chose, which gives it really nice structure, but it's not really a requirement for me on a sling. Backpack, different story. Sling though, I usually prefer a bit more malleability. Back pocket though, totally bangs. Look at how big this thing is. You can actually fit Kindle in there, and it can fit actually totally standing upright as well. And as always, Bellroy's bringing the functionality with their comfort. Like, don't sleep on Bellroy slings, guys. They're stupid comfortable to wear because of this innovative, like, double nylon harness system. And I like this one because, like, I ended up rocking it sort of in messenger mode a little bit as well. It's not cheap though, brace yourself. But if you're in the market for something super premium and super luxurious, it's a great option. And once the full review is ready, we'll be sure to link it below. A few others we don't have in the office, but still big launches. We got the Alpaka Aero Pack in X-Pack. This is one of my favorite Alpaka launches of the past few years. It's a small backpack, it just feels great. It's simple, it's functional, while bringing also the A game for comfort. And I think it's really cool that Alpaka is offering it in X-Pack. It's gonna give it a little bit of a technical advantage because while the original uses Axoflux, which I quite love, it's not a very weather-resistant fabric. So the X-Pack should definitely elevate that, and it currently runs around 160 USD. Also, fun fact, in case you missed it and you love Alpaka or you're just interested in backpacks, Sig and myself just went to Shenzhen, China and visited Alpaka's factory. The Alpaka team gave us a full tour, a behind the scenes look at their assembly lines and how they actually make products. Fun fact, they actually have one of the world's largest inventories of X-Pack. They got hundreds of thousands of dollars of X-Pack that they bought that they're just storing in China for all the bags that they're making. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I've linked the video below as well. Another Bellroy release, we have the Venture Messenger. I'll be honest, the main compartment, I'm not sure how it's gonna work with its accessibility, but everything else about the Messenger looks pretty dope. Got a great aesthetic, and it's kind of bringing something new to the table for Bellroy because they've been doing so much stuff in the line of that cinch collection. Extremely lightweight and kind of casual and beachy. But the Venture Messenger is kind of taking things in a little bit of a different direction. It's not an obvious clone of the original Venture collection. It's sort of building on top of that. And I think it's gonna bring something to the table for the guys out there, as to where I felt like the cinch collection was a little bit more female focused. And just on a side note, Bellroy is really interesting right now, because they're trying lots of new things and they're going in lots of different directions. And some people in the community think that Bellroy is lost. Other people see it as them innovating and taking some really cool risks. I'm not sure which one it is. All that I do know is that here at Nomadization, we're strapped in and observing what we can and enjoying the ride. The bags come in 2 different sizes and run around 230 to 250 USD. Next up, we have the Cinomadist Motion, a bag that actually did quite well on Kickstarter. I wasn't 100% sold on the feature set, but I gotta admit, it looks nice. And I've seen a lot of duffel backpack fusions, and this one seemed to just kind of do it its own way. And I think that design was certainly contributing to its success, as it raised over $100,000 on Kickstarter. Next up, we got the Cotopaxi Viaje duffels. And these are definitely duffels that are built for travel. Great luggage pass-throughs on them, a few other really interesting travel features, but I think with all things Cotopaxi, not all, style is important to them, and I think it's a huge factor for their success. But what's interesting is that they seem to be moving away from more loud, summery colors and kind of transitioning into more muted, autumny colors. I'm not sure if this is based on user feedback or if they're just, swinging for the fences. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for a travel duffel, it's got travel features and has a nice colorful aesthetic to it. Cotopaxi would be hard to beat. These duffels currently run around 130 USD. Next up, we got the Filson Trapper Creek 28-liter backpack. Now, I've only done one Filson review on this channel before. It's for the Rugged Twill briefcase many, many moons ago, and that's a $500 briefcase. And it was luxury, old school, heritage vibes through and through, but delivering less so on the functionality. And I think we might have the same thing with this bag. But like all Filson products, God, does this thing look beautiful. It uses waxed canvas, beautiful brass hardware. Currently comes in 2 color options. And it's nowhere near as expensive as like some of their other products are positioned. This one's only coming in at 250 USD. Now, out of all these new releases, we're gonna reward one with the bag of the month. And this is just based on like which bag is getting the most chatter. What are people talking about? What is the community excited about? And for me, it's a no-brainer. It's definitely the Osprey Transporter 26+6. I do wanna be honest, this bag actually got released, I think, at the very end of April, but we're counting it as a May drop. And let me tell you, people are really excited because the 26+6 Daylight from Osprey is one of the most iconic travel backpacks in the world. So the fact that Osprey took inspiration from that and tried to build something new that can compete with it, it's got people talking. I will say, based on the comments that I'm reading, most people still prefer the Daylight. I'm going to be testing this bag out for the next few weeks and shooting a full review and comparison with the original Daylight. It will be coming your guys' way very soon. Okay, next chapter, let's talk about the new gear we got in the office. Obviously, we covered a lot of it in the new drops episode, but we got some older releases as well. Starting with the Troubadour Elemental Backpack and Sling. Troubadour is really interesting to me. They're like a peripheral carry brand. They're not like in the heart of it, but they're not like out of things either. So when they launched this new series and they were touting this new fabric, I was really excited to see it. You can see here, it's a very lightweight, rip-stoppy nylon. It's got a really cool design to it and it's accented by ultra mesh as well. This collection is all about being lightweight. And the backpack has these beefy shoulder strap pockets on them, which are never my favorite thing, but I will admit, Troubadour has had a relentless sort of obsession with shoulder strap pockets. They put them on all their bags. And some of them work and some of them don't, but I will say, I think that these might work pretty well. They're big, they're not gonna look super sexy, but they should fit a phone. And right now the bag is coming in at 280 and the Sling at around 100. Evergoods sent some new gear our way as well. We got their packing cube in a 4-liter. The Evergoods packing cubes that we originally, this is bright. You're not wrong. Wow. This is, okay, I get it now. Now that I'm staring at it, this is so bright. I need the black one. The thing about Evergoods packing cubes is that they're great. They're durable. They're different. They're well built. They're just kind of heavy. They seem a little bit lighter though in comparison to the ones that we reviewed previously. Got some nice structure to them. And they also sent us their new Duffel, which has been slightly updated. I don't think it's an official V2, but it is an official new product because they only had it, I think, in the 35 liter, which we reviewed before, but this now is in 25 liters. It's got that classic kind of doctor bag opening. Hell yeah, this is actually really fun just to use and it makes accessibility super awesome as well. Bit of internal organization. Self-stands really well because of its design and structure, while still giving you some great travel features like this luggage pass-through right here. And what's crazy is that Evergoods is busting out a new material, which to me is not very Evergoods-y. This is almost like a velvety, kind of like suede fabric. This feels like it belongs nowhere near an Evergoods product. I am astonished and weirded out and kind of inspired, but mostly weirded out. But it's soft, it's cushiony. This just shows like how crazy like brand building is, because I've reviewed and tested every Evergoods product and I've never seen something like this on an Evergoods product before. So now that I am, I'm like, what are you? So Evergoods has done such a great job of like building a brand with very specific fabrics and design choices. But this one is very cool. I hope to do a full review on it. The price is 200 USD and the packing cubes are SIG, look away. The packing cubes are 40 USD. Next up, Linus Tech Tips team have been aggressively sending us new stuff. Now, this is their original backpack. We bought this like 4 years ago and reviewed it on the channel, and then we got rid of it. This is back in like the day when we used to actually sell backpacks. We don't do that anymore. Now we keep them because more backpacks equals more content. So when they reached out to us, we told them that and they said, we'll send you a new one. So we're gonna be doing an updated Linus Tech Tips review because actually the Linus Tech Tips bags get us a ton of traffic. It makes sense. Linus is, he's kind of a big deal. People know him. So we're definitely gonna do an updated review of this absolute beast of a tank of a backpack. How much does this cost, Sig? 250 USD. Fun side story, if you don't know, Linus, world famous tech YouTuber, this is his first backpack, and they have these zipper pulls on them, which are actually basically little carabiners that can then lock into each other. And what happened is they didn't fully test them, and then when they sent them out, these were breaking left and right. And I'll give the team credit, they acknowledged it, and they kind of had a solution for it. They actually, instead of like sending people new bags though, they like built a little kit that you could like fix it yourself. It was a whole thing. And I feel for them, like, you know, you try to innovate and There's so many things to keep track of when you're making a new bag and test out, and some things just fly under the radar. But I tell that story to tell you that now, like, all that sort of seems to be gone. Most of the Linus Tech Tips fans seem pretty jazzed up about their new backpack and this backpack. Are you guys Linus fans? Let me know what you guys think about Linus in the comments below. I dig his stuff, I think it's cool. Harbor London, the original Grams 28. They launched a couple new bags, beautiful bags, super, oh my God, like that is leather. This is the leather crossbody bag, and this is the Venture Sling bag. And I bring up the Grams 28 comp because if you don't know, Grams 28 is it's a bag brand, and they're based here in Hong Kong. They've been gaining some steam in the carry community. John from Unpacked, actually, he loves Grams 28. They're known to like sort of bring the leather game, but like modernize it, where it's leather, but it's not super old school, like luxury Louis Vuitton vibes. And you can see actually that Harbor London is doing the same thing by including the Cobra buckle here. And it kind of just gives like a very tactical feel for what is often a very heritage vibe. Cobra buckles are incredible, but God, are they heavy and bulky. Harbor London used to hand make their bags in Spain. I'm not sure if they still do, but the interior material choice is beautiful. Like this is just, that's really nice. But as always with handmade leather goods, not cheap, $450 USD, $410 USD. But I will admit, that's good leather. That's really good leather. And finally, we got some new-ish drops from Alpaka. We got the Modular Shoulder Pocket Max and the Flight Pouch Pro. And both of these products are super interesting because they both feature Alpaka's new fabric. This fabric is called Ultradyne, and it's sort of like, in the most layman of terms, kind of like an X-Pack mixes with an Ultra, done in Alpaka's very original way. It's a fabric that is incredibly high tech. It's got, you know, a bit of a crunch to it. The gray version has a really nice pattern. This product being a new vertical sling from Alpaka. This product being a bit of a traditional clutch type sling with a central divider, which has never been my favorite thing in the world. But on the flip side, one of my favorite things in the world is often Alpaka's pricing. This one's coming in at 70 USD, and this one's coming in at 60 USD. And again, just a reminder, Sig and myself, we just went to the Alpaka factory. It is a one-of-a-kind behind-the-scenes unique look at, you know, what it's like to run a backpack brand, especially from one of the few backpack brands that are actually running their own factory. It's very rare, it's a very cool video, and you can find a link below. All right, now for the last chapter, we just kind of bring you in to what's happening with Nomads Nation. Kind of a behind the scenes look at what's happening with the brand, new developments, and things we want to tell you guys about. And in case you missed it, one huge thing that we want to tell you about is the fact that the team has officially grown. We've multiplied. We announced Sig, our new videographer, Alfred, who's a new gear tester, and Stevie and Tony, who are like official gear reviewers on the channel, putting in the work, testing the gear, and delivering their results to you in the form of a 15-minute review here on YouTube. So far, Stevie has reviewed the Black Ember H2 and the Able Carry Max EDC, and Tony's been putting in the work. He actually went on a trip to Vietnam where he reviewed the Rework Outbound backpack and did a 2-year review of the Able Carry 13. It's been so cool to have these new presenters on the team, guys. It's new faces, new voices, new gear, but with the same goal of helping you find the best gear for your life on the move. So if you want to learn more about the new presenters or why we're bringing more people onto the team, be sure to check the links in the description below. Right now, my favorite Stevie review is probably the Black Ember H2. She had some really interesting takes about that bag. She's definitely like a super hardcore bag nerd. And then for Tony, the Rework Outbound review is like, it's like a must watch. Like he went to Vietnam, he took a bunch of B-roll, motorbiking around the mountains. So be sure to check those videos out. And last but not least, let's jump into the AMA, which I'm very excited about. I've looked at some of these questions, Sig, but not all of them. So I'm just gonna let you just rip them, just go. I'm ready. What's the first one?
Most common one is, why are you in Hong Kong?
Okay, so I'm 37 now, and when I was 22, I got bit by the travel bug so hard. Like, it literally changed everything for me. I was consumed by it. It was beyond obsessive. I had to go to as many countries as I could, and that's what I was doing in my early 20s. I was traveling the world, backpacking to different countries, and while I was doing that, I also started the Nomads Nation blog. I wasn't good at a lot of things as a kid, but one thing that I did excel at was writing, so I'm like, hey, I like to travel, I like to write, travel blog, you know, the light went off. And in my travels, I ended up visiting Hong Kong a few times. I had a couple of buddies from high school who actually moved out here to teach English. And then when I decided to take Nomads Nation more seriously, I needed a way to kind of have a cool life experience, you know, for my blog and my travels, while also making money to survive, but also not working too many hours so I could actually focus on building Nomads Nation. And that's why I came to Hong Kong to teach English. Because teaching English in Hong Kong, and like most of Asia in general, You don't always have to work a shit ton of hours. I was doing like 25 to 30 hours a week, and it was an awesome experience, and it gave me more time to then focus on Nomads Nation. And my goal was to be here for around 2 years, and that was 10 years ago, because then I met my wife, fell in love, and been here ever since. So how was that answer, Sig? Was that good? Was that thorough enough?
Yeah, pretty good. That's for everybody.
What's next?
Is your wife into bags and EDC like you?
She's into bags, but a very different kind of bags. When my wife and I met, we were very aligned on our love for bags, but hers was more like the Chanel, Dior side of things, and mine was more the Air, Bellroy side of things. So there is a mutual appreciation that we both had for bags. But over the years, she's actually grown less into like luxury brands, thank God. And I've been pushing the carry community on her so much that now she appreciates it. And she actually really likes bags. She will not wear a bag, like a backpack. I can't get her to wear a backpack to save my life. I've tried. We're getting there though. Like now she's into like the Lululemon shoulder bags. We just took a trip to the States and she was pairing that with a suitcase. But she's like doing the shoulder bag pimp walk. And I'm like, babe, if you just had a backpack with a sternum strap, you would feel so much better right now. And she wasn't into it yet, but we'll get her there. I believe that we'll get her there. And obviously then with me starting Firo, you know, it's our family business in some ways. So like she's very tuned into what's happening there and like looking at the bags and asking what's happening. So she's become a bag nerd herself in her own way, whether she wanted to or not.
Was Ray Allen's foot on the line?
Yes, it's sports related, Sig. And no, his foot was not on the line. Also, congrats to your Spurs making it to the NBA Finals.
Why does the new Citta 25 liter have more and better organization than the Levo 30?
This is a Firo question. Okay, we'll do some Firo questions on Nomads. So I disagree. I don't think that it does. But I understand where you're coming from. So you have to understand that the Citta backpack and the Levo backpack are made for different use cases. The Citta backpack was designed to be the ultimate end game backpack, which means it has to do EDC and travel, both very well. And the truth of the matter is that most people for EDC just like more pockets and more organization. This community has a tendency to be very optimized and very locked in their day-to-day, myself included. But the Levo had a different focus. The brief was so simple: to make the world's lightest, very sexy and good looking urban travel backpack. And one thing that does not work very well with lightweightness is organization. It's extra fabrics and extra materials and extra zippers. Zippers are heavy, they really add up. And in order to really hone in on any design brief in general for any product, you gotta be focused and you gotta be relentless about sticking to that brief. We could have added 5 to 7 more pockets in the Levo and then it would have been a pound heavier, and then we would have totally failed on what we were trying to accomplish. So the good news though is that the Citta now exists as the more organization heavy silhouette of the two, and we can maybe eventually at some point scale that up in size. But the Levo will not change. Levo means to lessen in Latin, and that is exactly what this bag will always be, the lightest weight version of itself that it can possibly be.
If you weren't into bag reviews / production, what do you think you'd be doing? Any other passions?
That's a really good question. I would say that probably something in marketing. Like, I think marketing is rock and roll. Like, rock and roll is rock and roll, but like, if you gotta do something in like, that's professional, it's marketing for me. Like, it's the convergence of art and creativity and personal expression, just done in a corporate setting. So definitely something in marketing. Actually, fun fact, at one point, like I'd say around 1.5 years into Nomads Nation, maybe a little bit less, maybe like between 1 year and 1.5 years into Nomads Nation, we weren't getting the growth that I was hoping for, and I almost quit. And the reason I almost quit was that I always had another idea that I wanted to have a YouTube channel where it was very marketing focused, focusing on marketing campaigns and strategies and what I was learning on the marketing spectrum and side of things. And I was this close to giving up on Nomads and abandoning it and then going full-time into that. But thank God I didn't, because, you know, kind of a darkest before the dawn story. Pushed through that little bit of a slog on Nomads, and I didn't chase this new shiny thing, and it changed the entire trajectory of my life. Now we got Nomads and this whole team, and then Firo. So I guess the takeaway, if I can give you any inspiration for that, is if you are pursuing something, like, don't give up on it before you give it that opportunity to fully come to fruition.
Besides Shoe Dog, what other books do you recommend?
I like different kinds of books. I like history books, I like fiction books, and I like business books. So I'll give you 1 to 2 recommendations for each. For fiction, I like fiction books that cut through my soul and bring me to the brink of every possible emotion that I can feel with very sharp and witty sort of commentary on society and culture as a whole. So for that, The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen, White Teeth by Zadie Smith, and maybe The Brief, Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. Those are my top 3. History, I'm gonna do anything World War II. I'm currently trying to get through the rise and fall of the Nazis. Each book is about this thick, and there's 3 of them. But if you're looking for the definitive sort of understanding of what happened during World War II, it's dry and it's long, but it's the best. And then for business books, Shoe Dog. Actually, fun fact that inspired me to start Firo. What, Shoe Dog?
Yeah, I thought it was a biopic.
It is. It's an autobiography of the founder of Nike. And it's the best business book I've ever read. Just in terms of like inspiring you to start your own thing. His story for Nike, Phil Knight, is just unbelievable. So I'll just leave that as my clear number 1, Shoe Dog. And if you don't know, we get asked that because we've been using Shoe Dog as a prop on this channel for years. And one day I'll get a different book on here, I swear. But I also want to promote Shoe Dog because this is just, it's the most inspiring, amazing like story I've ever read in my life.
So it's a shout out.
Shout out to Phil.
Understanding the complexities of the world we are living in, do you recommend anyone to start a backpack company?
Yes, but what's the follow-up question?
If so, what would be one carry-related item or items that you will love to see that you don't see in any other brand?
First question is yes, I would recommend it, but only if you have a marketing plan in place, which then brings me to part 2 of the question, because if I can tell you anything, having reviewed, I'm surrounded by 700 bags right now from hundreds of brands, and there's a lot of great fucking products out there. And some of the most popular ones don't deserve to be, and some of the ones you never heard of are better than any of the other ones. But like at the end of the day, that's just kind of the distribution and the marketing side of things. And that's where some brands really thrive. And it doesn't mean that you have to be good at marketing, but you have to have a plan or an idea, or you're trying to really accomplish a specific thing. Like what I'm trying to say is like, look at Orbitkey. Orbitkey, I think, is a great example of what I would recommend a new brand getting into, where their products serve a very particular function and or use case. And what that allows them to do is say, hey, like the new insulated lunch bag, right? Like this has a very specific feature set for a very specific use case, and that allows them to jump on Facebook ads or to make YouTube or Instagram videos that can really speak to a target audience versus just like, hey, another ad of like the world's best backpack. Like we've seen the world's ultimate backpack a million times, and like that messaging gets very diluted when everyone's saying the same thing over and over again. So you either gotta be in this for the long game and look to build the next Air. That's what I'm trying to do at Firo, right? Where like nothing's very trying to be gimmicky on Firo, it's just trying to be the best. We definitely hone in our design briefs to say, hey, the Levo travel backpack is the world's lightest urban travel bag, right? But at the end of the day, Firo is an example of a brand building exercise where we won't see the full return on investment for probably 15 to 20 years. But Orbitkey, for instance, on the flip side, they can go viral with some of their stuff. And I just think their business model is great because they're making very smart, very cool products that they can market to. It's not the same as everything else. So to answer the question again, it's not good enough, I don't think, just to make really great products. You gotta make really great products that are really designed to target a certain audience. Or you're just in this for the long game and you're very happy to slowly build a brand over the years, product by product and customer by customer.
When you visit other bag manufacturers like the recent Alpaka tour, are they ever apprehensive showing you certain things since you're technically a competing company with Firo?
That's a really interesting question. Hope to do more factory tours, nothing lined up right now. The Alpaka one was sort of a one-off because not many brands own their own factories. I did get a great comment that we should reach out to Tom Bin about this because they do, I believe, own their own factory in Seattle. But for the first question, that's really interesting. The gist just being like, are brands secretive? Because here at Nomads, we are that review media brand, but we also have our own bag brand. And I was very, very nervous about this at first because one thing that I try and do at Nomads is really focus on building relationships. If you look at our podcast, I've tried to reach out to and have conversations with all the bag reviewers. Not all, but like a lot of them, right? And not just the reviewers, but brand owners. And I think that like one of my favorite things to do is to introduce people and to bridge gaps and to bring people together. Hence what we're trying to do with Nomads Nation too by having new presenters. Like it's just like, that's the nomad side of thing, right? Like building a community. So I was really nervous that like bag brand owners would look at us differently when we started Firo. And to be honest, like there's been moments with a select few where I've been like, oh shit, there's some, as the Chinese say, there was some bones in those words. But more or less, I have been just fucking blown away by how supportive everyone has been. Like, let's just say like Fred from Tortuga, like when he found out that I was launching Firo, he sent me an email and was like, dude, saw what you're doing, so cool. Anytime you wanna jump on a call, let me know and I'll help you out. Like, and like that, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. Just a couple more shout outs. David from Modern Dayfarer, Frankie from Simple, Jin and Romero from Alpaka, Douglas from the Brown Buffalo. These are all people that are brand owners that I am technically a competitor with Firo, who all have gone out of their way to help me in some way and to be extremely transparent. And it's not just those guys, anybody else who I'm forgetting about right now, I'm so sorry. And that's the cool thing about the bag world is a lot of bag brands are started by designers. And designers are not like your sort of like crude, businessy, like oil tycoon personality. There are people who just like to design, like to make bags. They're usually a creative in some sense. There just hasn't been that like threatening kind of a vibe that I've seen in this community so far. So one of my big goals at Nomads Nation is to continue building this community, to keep bridging those gaps and to bringing people together. And I think a big part of that is because this industry is still on the rise. The market is still expanding. So it means that we can all win together. It's that whole, the rising tide, it rises all ships. What is it? What do they say? Sig, what's the quote? What's the quote about rising tides raising all ships?
The quote is,
a rising tide lifts all boats, okay? Single tear over there. Very inspiring. All right, last one, I'm going on Instagram. Do you always do one bag travel or do you also check luggage? Aaron's getting old and Aaron's back sucks. It sucks how much my back sucks. So because of that, I have actually been transforming my travel strategies very much so over the past year, especially, and I've been traveling with a suitcase all the bloody time. And it's awesome. It sucks because I end up having to check it every time. I can't get underneath the weight limit for Asia. You get 7 kg, 15 pounds, it's brutal. So you just accept it, your suitcase gets checked, and you say, farewell, amigo, see you on the other side. And then Aaron's back is just so happy because I have like a light backpack, usually the Firo Citta 18 liter. All the heavy stuff checked underneath. And because of this, I have now been having like a growing obsession with suitcases, which means that I'm gonna make my own suitcase, I think, at some point. I need to do more. I'm not a suitcase expert or like super enthusiast the way that I am with like backpacks and slings right now, so I need more time to actually test suitcases on the road. Actually, I'm excited about that. Totally forgot. We got some new suitcases in as well. I got my first Swiss suitcase. Totally forgot to mention these, Sig. We're slacking, it's a busy day. We also got the Traveler's Choice suitcase. So we're really trying to step up testing on Nomads Nation with the suitcase side of things so we can become better suitcase authoritative people who know suitcases, right? And also so I can eventually start making my own suitcases on Firo. Let's go. Okay, this has been a long episode of New Bag Drops. If there are any AMA questions that you thought of that you didn't get the chance to ask me or that I missed that you want me to answer, I promise you I'll answer it in the comments below. As always, guys, cannot thank you enough for supporting us and being with us on this journey. We got a lot more cool shit coming your way. And speaking of cool shit, last plug for this, the Alpaka Factory tour was awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely check it out here. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.